ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਆਫ ਦਾ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ੋ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਕਰਵਾਉਣ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਕਾਟ ਹਾਊ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਓਲੰਪਿਕਸ BC ਤੋਂ। ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਵਿਸ਼ੇ 'ਤੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਅੱਜ ਇਹ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਓਲੰਪਿਕਸ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਆਓ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਕਾਟ ਹਾਊ ਨਾਲ। Scott, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So a little bit about Special Olympics BC. What is this organization?
So Special Olympics is a worldwide organization. It operates in about 160 countries, and it focuses on sports programs for individuals with an intellectual disability of all ages. And these go from our community programs where people compete year-round with members of their own community.
Right.
And it goes all the way up to our World Games, which happen every 4 years for both winter and summer.
Okay. Is it in any way associated with the normal Olympics and the Paralympics which are held?
No, it's a separate organization, but in many ways it is very similar to the Paralympics. So the Paralympics would focus on people with physical disabilities primarily, whereas our organization focuses exclusively on intellectual disabilities.
Okay. And is it just confined for the youth only, or for the elders also?
No, our programs are open to people of all ages. So here in BC, our youngest athlete is 2 years old.
Okay.
And our oldest athlete just turned 91.
Wow, that's interesting. So when did this organization come into existence?
It's been going for several decades around the world now. Here in BC, we've been operating since about 1982. And currently we have about 4,600 athletes in our programs. So we've been growing quite substantially over the years.
Like you mentioned, every 4 years also a major program is held, but year long you continue with your program. So what kind of programs do you have?
So here in BC, we offer about 18 sports to people, and they go from everything from bowling to things like alpine skiing. And they operate in each of the communities. So for an athlete based in Surrey, we have programs available, but the same would go for an athlete based in Terrace or up in the north.
Okay. So what are the means by which you kind of go around and tell people about this organization, and also how do you conduct the games? What all is the process?
Okay, so people sign up. Usually they hear about us through the community, and they sign up to start competing in a sport, and they'll practice with their local team for quite a while, and as they get better and as they progress, there's opportunities for them to continually compete at higher levels.
Right.
So they'll progress from the basic community things, and then they'll go on to the regional games, and then provincial games and national games.
Right.
And many of our athletes from there will sign up for multiple sports as well, so that they can continue multiple nights a week.
Okay. Is it a government-sponsored organization, or you raise funds from the communities to carry on with what you do?
We do receive some government support, but we rely a lot on community groups and different groups who raise money for us. So the RCMP is a very big supporter with their law enforcement torch run that happens annually.
Right.
And the Auto Dealers of BC are another great supporter of ours.
Okay, that's great. As you said, the community is also involved in this, and the government also comes forward. But once you are to plan your events, how do you approach the community? Is it held in the form of some games, as you said, occasionally or periodically? Tell us in details about how you go out. What kind of outreach do you do, and what kind of response do you get?
So in the local level, we really rely a lot on volunteers. So for our 4,600 athletes, we have about 3,600 volunteers.
Wow.
So a lot of the time, they're out there doing some of the groundwork for us and ensuring that we book venues. So we work with some of the local rec centers to organize that sort of thing.
Right.
And more recently, we've kind of realized that our past efforts have done really well in engaging the communities, but there's been certain communities that we haven't been so successful at engaging with, and one of those is the South Asian community.
Right.
So as part of those efforts, we've done some online advertisements, we've translated some of our brochures, and we spent about the last 9 months going around to the community and meeting with people in different groups, trying to forge better connections with the South Asian community. So that's something we're really working on now.
What has been the hindrance? As you mentioned, you have been outreaching, but in the South Asian community. So were there some taboos which prevented people from coming forward, or there were some other issues?
Yes, people with an intellectual disability globally experience quite a significant amount of social stigma. And that's far from isolated to the South Asian community. It really is a global issue. In speaking with the South Asian community here in BC, we've noticed a couple of areas. For example, some people feel like for somebody with an intellectual disability, maybe focusing on academic achievements is a better avenue for their support. So one of the issues that we're trying to encourage people to understand is that through sports, people can gain increased motor skills, they gain increased social skills, they live healthier and are more active, and all of these things together can really combine to a much healthier and more meaningful life.
Right.
So that would, I would say, be one of the biggest things that we need to push back against.
But probably this is not just confined to the South Asian community only, because when we talk about intellectual disabilities, first of all, nobody wants to accept it, and the kind of thinking what we people have is that it needs to be settled at home only. Why talk to others? So if this is a major consideration in the South Asian community, probably it is in other communities also. So do you face some kind of challenges and issues, and how do you overcome those?
Yeah, so in British Columbia, the last of our institutions for people with intellectual disabilities only closed in the 90s.
Okay.
So the idea of inclusion and bringing people with intellectual disabilities out and engaging in everyday activities with the community is a relatively new concept.
Right.
So some communities have adopted these new ideas a little quicker than others.
Okay.
But in pretty much every community that I have encountered, I've noticed a significant amount of social stigma.
Right.
So we try and push back against that by highlighting the potential of people with intellectual disabilities.
Okay.
So for example, one of our athletes recently did a TED Talk. His name's Matthew Williams, and through examples like that, where people with intellectual disabilities can be visible in the community and really show what they're capable of if we invest our time and energy in them.
Right.
I think that's one of the best ways that we can try and attack this issue.
Wonderful. And it's not just through these games that you help them. Is there this organization of yours, does it constantly provide some kind of advice also to parents or to those who are affected, or just it is only in the games that you hold these and then you're gone?
So we did start as an organization focusing on sports, but over time we've really started to focus on health and well-being as well.
Okay.
So on a basic level, our parents of our athletes really enjoy the social network that Special Olympics provides.
Right.
So they meet other parents who are in the same position, and they learn quite a bit from them that way. So now, in addition to the sports programs that we offer people with intellectual disabilities, we offer health programs called our Healthy Athlete Screenings, where people with an intellectual disability can come and engage with practitioners who are familiar with the population.
Right.
In addition to that, we offer our Quit Smoking program, which helps athletes quit smoking.
Okay.
And then in addition to our health programs, we also offer leadership opportunities for athletes, which can really help them develop some of their confidence and their
Wonderful.
social
That's
skills.
really commendable, the kind of work which is being done for people being affected by intellectual disabilities. Finally, if somebody wants to approach you, what is the best means? And also, we have heard that Khalsa School is very much involved this year in promoting your special cause. How are they helping you out?
So if anybody is interested in learning more about the program, I recommend they visit our website, which is specialolympics.bc.ca.
Okay.
Also, they can contact my colleague, Chelsea Rogers, at crogers@specialolympics.bc.ca.
Right.
And for this project, we've had a significant amount of support from Satinder Bhatia and Khalsa Primary. We had, through our community outreach efforts, we had been put in touch with them, and they immediately jumped on the idea and decided that they wanted to help. So over the past couple months, they've been providing volunteers for us. They've been helping us translate some of our materials, and they've been helping us really engage with the community to try and reach people who we've been unable to reach. So we're really grateful for their support.
And do you also have any phone number where people can contact you directly?
Yes, people can contact us at 604-737-3078.
Wonderful. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for being here and promoting this special cause. Thank you and best wishes.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So ਲੈਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਕਾਟ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ 올림픽ਸ BC ਇੱਕ ਉਹ ਸੰਸਥਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਲੋਕ ਇੰਟੈਲੈਕਚੁਅਲ ਡਿਸੇਬਿਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪ੍ਰਮੋਟ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਅਜੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਟੈਬੂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹਵਾਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ, ਲੇਕਿਨ ਐਸੀਆਂ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਇਹ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਇਹ ਵੱਡਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹਿਤ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਪੋਰਟਸ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ ਕੇ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਕਰੋ। ਇਹ ਜੋ ਸਕਰੀਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਨੰਬਰ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਫੋਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਾਂ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਤਿੰਦਰ ਭਾਟੀਆ ਜੋ ਹਨ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਤੋਂ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਜੋ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕਿਉਂ ਹੋਇਆ, ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਹ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਕੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ।